All right, we'll get going real quick here. I know did plan on getting you out of here by 1 o'clock, and we are usually done by now and whatnot. So hopefully we get some athletes in here and that kind of thing. But I do want to thank you all for coming. However, I did on my text and stuff, if you read it correctly, I said the first 10 people I paid for, not everybody, so I apologize for that. All right, maybe not, but yeah, we're excited about the season. Coming up, obviously, we got so far to go. It was great to beat Kearney, but like Coach Felderman said, is you're excited about it. You know, you made some mistakes and those kind of things. Then you go back and watch film, and you're like, "Holy cow, it's harder than that game." So it was nice to have some of the guys step up and just go compete. And we talk about it every day. Go out and, as I say, do your best, but compete and play hard. And I did. I thought, especially the last 10 minutes of even both halves, but excuse me, the last 10 minutes, we just outplayed them and played harder than them. So, they get one more crack at us when we go up there, and I expect it to be a little bit different. But pretty proud of our guys that, even though you make mistakes, you got to just keep plugging at it. And we figured that out after our exhibition games. And, I've heard Shanalek about 8 gazillion times already, and he's a special player. He's got a chance to be pretty darn good. But you would have thought, what in the world are we doing playing that kid if you saw him play a couple other games too? So, he still plays like a freshman once in a while, but his upside is tremendous. He's a very athletic kid. He can shoot the ball. He can obviously take the basket, as you guys saw. And he's a big time spark plug for us. But he was a pretty proud of him, and the guys were pretty excited about for him too. I brought his name up in the locker room after the game, and I've never had the whole team start clapping for a kid in the locker room. So the guys understood what he did for us during that game, kind of got everybody going, that kind of thing. So we need that from a bunch of different guys. Obviously with Phil being the first one, but we got to have guys step up because we do. We have a long ways to go, but we're excited. Kearney did turn around and beat Shattern last night by I think about 20. So it was nice to get them on our home floor. Hopefully we can get some good crowds coming out here and continue on and just keep getting better. It's a season where you do every game or every time you get a chance to be on the floor, whether it's practice or whatnot, you've got to get better. And both of our teams will see that. But like I told our group, we had last week on Thursday, we had a Meet the Rockers, and all the guys were here, and with the crowd there. And I said, well, I don't know how many wins and losses we'll have, but they'll play their tails off and go out there and compete. And they did that. And then sure enough, you end up winning games if you do that. So pretty proud of our guys after the game. Philip, another thing with him before we get to our guys is, he's the only kid, and maybe Coach Glenn's had one too, but only kid I've ever had that hit a 90-footer in a game and also had a dunk. So it was a pretty cool deal. We'll have to, if we can ever get the tape from Montana State, we'll have to get that up on our highlights and get a chance to see that because it's an ESPN shot from the other end of the floor, and then like I said, for a 6-foot kid, point guard to go up and hammer it too, shows you what kind of kid he is. So, all right, let's get through our guys then. As you can see right there with our quick picture is 19 of them. You talk about Barb having 17, and then again, Barb having 17 is like us having 34, I suppose. So if you do the math right with her 6 or 7 that she usually ends up with and competes. Our philosophy is a little bit different. We like to keep about 16 guys, 17 at the absolute most, because of the special circumstances with going Division II and the transitioning, redshirting a couple guys that we knew that were going to redshirt with the Mike Dietz that we'll talk about, and Lance Kilborn. But then AJ Trenable showing up on your doorstep, hey coach, you mind if I come and play? And I'm like, I don't know, let me think about it. Okay. It's just like, how do you get one of the top shooters in the country to show up? And that stuff just doesn't happen. To me, I go to church every weekend, but that's above and beyond. I think the good Lord's call. But anyway, with Stephen Yellowtail, see these are some of our red shirts that we'll go through real quick as well. Stephen's a young man that has a chance to be a good player in the program. He's a kid that lives in Montana. Moved to a school in Wyoming and big time about the education. So, that's his big reason why all our guys are here, but especially for him. And then, when we were recruiting him and stuff, and holy cow, you're so pretty good player, and he does. He has a chance to step into those 2 seniors that we have that are shooting guards right now, and he can step up into that. Evan Withrow is the other kid that another good shooter for us. He's got some length to him. He's about 6'4". Once he figures out the speed of the college game, the physicalness, the toughness that you got to have and things, he's got a chance to be a very good player. And he's from Alaska, and he can handle the cold. Unlike some of our California guys and like Coach Collins had up here, but he thinks this is great to just get a snow once in a while. Joe Newkirk is a kid from Utah that we're very, very excited about. He's probably the most athletic kid we have in our program, especially vertically. And being 6'9" and being able to jump is a pretty cool deal. So, he's had some highlight dunks already in practice and stuff, and we're excited about him. He's just a kid that, is kind of caught between different spots. We'd like to play him more at the 4, facing up a little bit, but, he's played a lot down low, and just with his footwork and things, we'll keep working on him. And we need him to be a very good player for us. So hopefully he takes on that challenge the next couple of years and keeps getting bigger and stronger. Tyler Schoenig, another kid just right down the road from Nebraska, from Sydney. Right, Sydney? All right. Thought we'd have a little hoot and holler there from our Sydney guys, but I guess not. I'll buy your next lunch too or something. I don't know. But yeah, he's a 6'6", another athletic kid. What we really liked with him, Coach Glenn's out watching him play and out recruiting, and he calls me after the game. And he's like, "Holy cow, this is a hard-nosed kid, very athletic, very strong, rebounds and defense." I'm like, "Get him up here. We'll figure out the rest of it after that. If you get a hard-nosed kid like that, you got to get him into your program," and we did, and we're happy to have him. Mike Dietz is a last of our two more here red shirts. You guys all probably know Mike Dietz that have been to our games and things, and he's a big-time player and can do a lot of good things for us. So we keep working on his outside shot. Once he's able to knock that down, he has a chance to be one of the best players, I think, to even play here. And he's right there right now, but he's got a ways to go still with some things that he can work on in his game. He asked me when before the summer started, "Hey, is there any chance that we can do this?" And I'm like, "Hey, you got 2 years of school left. Getting these guys in their transition, not a great situation for our seniors. For the last couple of years, not really playing for anything other than what's on your chest, and a lot of times it's nice to give them the opportunity to do some of that." So he's pretty happy with that. Now he needs to take advantage of that and get better every day in practice. But it's great to have basically one of our top players from last year on the red shirt squad that's going against our starters every day. That hopefully will help us out. And then same with Lance Kilburn. He was kind of in the same situation that, oh darn, I got another year of school left. Problem was that's our 2 best scorers coming back from last year. Now we had 15 points in the lineup, and we're trying to get to 70 or even 80. And that's a lot of points to come up with. We were counting on them averaging 15 points a game each, and not having that in the lineup is going to take our toll on us sooner or later. Got through the first game, 1 down, but we got 25 more to go and figure out how to get some scoring done. So Lance is another one. We just need him to keep getting better and not, just keep knocking down shots and be a good practice player for us this year. All right, real quick here now with our freshman Adam Zamadou, kid from Houston. Good point guard. He just had some eligibility stuff when he first came here with some clearinghouse, so I had to miss a couple days of practice. Very bright student and all that kind of stuff, but just with some paperwork that we're waiting from his freshman year in high school. I had to get transferred in, and just goofy things that happened with the NCAA. So some clearinghouse, and then he actually had a job interview already for an internship and missed 3 days of practice, and he flew back down to Houston. So our freshmen are getting internships, and I'm just like, yeah, that's something that most coaches have to worry about. So he's practiced about 3/4 of the time. So every time he gets back, we've already put in so much stuff that he takes a little bit more of a learning curve. So hopefully he gets going, and he'll be one of our good backup point guards. Connor Koulis, hopefully you guys saw him play. We wanted to redshirt him with those other 2 guys redshirting. We couldn't do it, but as you saw, he's got a chance to be really good. And not a chance, he is really good right now. He's got a chance to be great. And we got to put some of that stuff on those guys to get bigger and stronger and understand our expectations are a little bit higher for them. And he's one of the kids that at 6'7", really skilled around the basket, can face up and shoot and do a lot of good things for us. So we're expecting a lot, not just 3 years from now. We're expecting a lot next weekend from him. So. Brian King's another freshman guard that we have. A little bit undersized. He's more of a 2 guard than a point guard. But once again, right now he's kind of caught between some guys being a freshman, but does really good things, especially on the defensive end. And at practice and getting after us, but gives us a little bit more of that quickness that we don't see every day in practice that we run against come weekends. Justin Shook, he's been hurt right now. His dad actually went to school here. He redshirted for us last year. 6'9" kid, pretty athletic, can knock down the shot when he wants to. Once he gets more aggressive, he's got a chance once again to compete for some time. And then another thing with Justin, we need him to get healthy because Caleb Shockman that's coming up, he only has 1 semester this year and then 2 next year, but he's done at semester time. He's one of the kids that he needs to fill those minutes, so we got pretty high expectations for him even this year. Troy White too, kid you didn't get to see a ton out of this last game, but you will see. He's another one, pretty explosive. He's got the body that can go compete as a freshman right away, but he's also, can knock down the shots, do some great things for us. We get him playing hard at times. He's probably the best player on the floor. So we got to make sure that those times are all the time. And like I said, with knocking down shots, being able to go to the basket, and even defensively, I mean, he can be a beast on the defensive end as well. Phil Channel, that's the one I was talking about. You guys saw what he's capable of doing. And we got to make sure with him too that he keeps that going all the time and make sure that he continues on to get better. And he's just like the point guard for the women, scored 2,000 some points in high school, but I bet 1,500 of them were layups. And you guys saw 6 of them that he just blew by guys. And that's at obviously a different level than small school North Dakota basketball. So he can do it at any level, and we need him to continue doing that. Andrew Reebol, he's a guy that you did see play. I begged and begged and begged to get him out on the floor. I shouldn't say begged. I asked him once. He said, yes, I can do whatever you need. But his ankle, if you saw, it's about this big, all different colors and all that kind of stuff. And we had to have him because Justin was out as well and not even dressed. And Andrew went in, scored a bucket, and got 2 rebounds in like 2 minutes. And he's 6'8", 260 pounds, and he's got a chance to be pretty good for us. But he was hurt. That wasn't why. He scored a basket, and I kicked him out. I mean, we can't have that. We can't score too much. And so he was hurt. That's why I was getting rid of him. I'm not that crazy. All right, Kelvin Thomas, another one who was dinged up the last game. He gets a double-double in the first games of the exhibitions and then gets hurt. And last year, you guys saw what he could do last year. Very capable, kind of slowed down his game a little bit this year. So now he's not just the energy guy. He's a guy that can produce. And, he's got a chance he needs to be pretty good for us. And you saw what he's capable of, but he's coming off an injury as well from this year. Caleb Shockman, once again, he's done at semester time. So if you want to come and watch him play, you got Thanksgiving. And that's about it, a couple more games after that. So another pretty athletic guy, 7 for 9, I think, 8 for 10, whatever he was the other night. But very good around the basket, pretty explosive. Once again, if we can get him to ever slow down, he can be a dominant post guy. Dennis is a kid from Poland that we really need to get a point guard with losing Nate Jacobson. We didn't know where Philip would be yet. Obviously, Philip's got a chance, but it was nice to get in this kid and just have that steadiness. He didn't have one attempt, I don't think, and didn't do much on the offensive end other than everything that a point guard needs to do. And got us into stuff and played good defense and those kind of things. So he doesn't turn it over, gets us guys in the right spots. The great thing in with him is he can knock down shots though too, and we just haven't seen it yet, so they can't just sag off us and guard other guys. Lucas, another pretty good athlete. He's a track guy. He's a 6'6" high jumper, pretty explosive, but he is literally the fastest guy I've ever seen with the ball. So we moved him off the point guard, moved him to the wing, so we could throw it up to him and then beat guys down the floor instead of having the ball in his hands and dribbling it up all the time. So hopefully that helps, but we can get some more open layups for him and really get to his game. I'm hurrying. AJ Trenopole, he can shoot. He can shoot. He's got a chance to break Mitch's record over there, and he better do it because Mitch gave me $1,000 the other day to make sure I cut him off after he got one less. But I won't say that out loud to anybody, so we'll see. But I know Mitch is cheering for him. He's his biggest fan, and he knows how good a shooter he is, and just a great kid. And for him to have the opportunity to come back and play for the Hardrockers, he's exceptionally happy about that. But when he came into my office in May, said, I'm going to play. He was in the gym for 2-3 hours literally every day or in the weight room. And he made that commitment, got stronger. He probably hadn't touched the ball a lot in that 2 years that he was off. So we're excited where he's at, but not an option to go for 5 in the first half, but he can definitely make 5 in the second half. So, hopefully he gets his 2 to 4 every game and breaks that record. He will go over 1,000 points. Hopefully, even on this road trip, he needs to on this road trip for us to win. But if not, he'll be back over Thanksgiving. He's right there. He's about 15 away, maybe, Brad, something like that. James Dean's another guy that knocked down some shots. A good player for us this year. He came in better shape this year. Knew he had an opportunity to play a lot of minutes and really worked hard this summer. And once again, we lose AJ at semester time. He's a guy that has to step up not only right now, but really carry the load come the second semester. And that's the group. Ramble on hours and hours and hours, I'm sure, but I do hopefully you guys will come back and see the kids, meet the kids, do some things. It is online and stuff, and get a chance to watch that as well. But I really want to thank you all for coming, and hopefully we can get back at least a couple times a month, and just to hang around some of our former athletes too. We got, I think, 6 or 7 of them in here right now. So that's awesome that they're in town. They're able to come, but then, talk to them as well. We'll get a couple of our athletes and Coach Felderman's, but hopefully you will come back and, keep supporting us and get to the games as well. I will take a couple questions if we, if I don't have time, but anything major?